Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. For today's video, we are upcoming on the season of the bitch-ass contract, guys. Yes, every single year in the NBA offseason, bitch-ass contracts happen. Players are given way too much money for the production they give on the basketball court. Might I add, Joakim Noah, Timothy bitch-ass contract, Mozgov. The only one that comes to mind is Bitch Mac Biombo of the Orlando Magic. Just players like that get all this damn money for doing shit on the basketball court. It makes me rage to think about, guys, because I know we all work very hard every single day at our own particular jobs, and we ain't ever going to sniff that type of cash in our entire lives, right? For today's video, guys, we are going to go through 10 NBA stars who will get way too much money this offseason and 6 who are going to get shortchanged. I am going to give you guys my opinion on if I think these guys are going to get overpaid, what kind of contract I would personally give them, and things along those lines. If you guys do enjoy this type of NBA discussion, be sure, guys, link in the description below to my second channel, Extra Crispy. Every single day, guys, I am posting basketball videos over there, so I really do hope you go check it out. Not to mention, I have an epic 100K giveaway when that channel hits 100K subscribers you guys do not want to miss. All right. Without further ado, my friends, let's get started on seeing some of these bitch-ass stuff going on right here. First one we have is, sorry, man, I saw short Isaiah Thomas. Yes, it's no doubt that Isaiah Thomas, at this point, man, is probably never going to get the max contract that he deserves. The year for it to happen was going to be like, if he would have stayed with the Boston Celtics, dropped the 30 points per game. Of course, he was traded for Kyrie Irving, which still, in hindsight, it's like, damn, dude, the loyalty of NBA franchises. It's all a business, guys. It's really all a business. Now this dude had the hip injury and everything like that, the hip surgery. I'm thinking he is probably going to get a very small contract from an NBA team, roughly around $10 million a season, which is still really good money. But at the same time, it's like when you could have had the chance of that $30 million per season, it's just really not fair. Man, it's just really not fair. It really comes down to him being short. It's because he's short. Let's not like beat around the freaking dead bush or whatever, man. Beat around the dead horse, whatever it is. He does not get the money he gets here he deserves because of his height. If he was 6'4", teams would be lining up to get this man on their team. But yeah, so I'm thinking probably about $10 million a season we'll probably get. Next up, we have too much. Carmelo Anthony. I was told that Carmelo Anthony has a $28 million player option. Is that true? I didn't think he did, but if he does, there's no way he's going to decline that because he's not going to get a max contract or anything close to $28 million a season offered him for the rest of his NBA career. I would say Melo, as of right now, in the right system, could probably warrant roughly $13 to $14 million a season. That's kind of being on the generous side. Melo really needs to go out there and prove that he can still be a leader of a basketball team. I don't want to say still be a leader. He needs to prove that he can be a leader and really help you contend for a championship because it does not look good on his resume where the OKC Thunder roughly have the same record as last NBA season. In last NBA season, they did not have Paul George or Carmelo Anthony. Just not a good look. So, yeah, man, that's roughly my guess, about $13, $14 million per season. Next up, we have another too much player, Brook Lopez. I always say that Lopez puts the L in Lopez. Yes, he puts up stats usually when he plays. I mean, his Lakers days have not really been all that great. But when he was on like the Brooklyn Nets and stuff, I mean, he was one of the top-notch stat centers in the NBA. I don't want to say he was one of the top centers, but putting up stats, this dude knew how to do it. And I think a lot of NBA teams are going to get blinded by that. He's a guy that doesn't really rebound the basketball. His defense is not really great. But with that being said, it's like there's going to be some NBA team out there that's going to be looking to fill that void out there. And instead he's playing on the last year contract, $21 million this season. No way he deserves that. I imagine some team's going to offer him around $16 to $17 million. I really want to fill that void at center. I don't think I would give him any more than $10 million per season. I mean, he is a good center on a bad team. He's an okay center on a good team. On a contender, I'm seeing Brook Lopez as a backup, man, are pretty damn close. Like, unless he goes to a team like the Warriors that just kind of put whoever at center, it wouldn't be that bad a fit. But yeah, he definitely is not going to be worth as much as he's probably going to get offered. Next up, we got shortchanged DWade. Okay, so right now he's currently making $2 million off his contract. We also got to keep in mind, though, that he was bought out by the Chicago Bulls, which was roughly like $20 million. So a lot of NBA teams are not going to realize that. They're going to see, okay, he got $2 million this season. Well, that's about all he's worth. So teams are going to offer this man very low money. They're going to assume he probably has 1 or 2 years left in the tank for him just because DWade does have injury issues out there. His knees are not that great. So he's not going to get, no $10, $15 million contract. I wouldn't be surprised, man, if he gets the Dirk Nowitzki treatment and gets the $5 million contract from the Miami Heat this season. which I don't see him leaving Miami. I either see him getting like a contract that he's like willing to accept or retiring. I really do think that's going to happen. I don't think he's leaving South Beach though. Next up, we have too much JJ Redick. Okay, so this one I kind of disagree with. I don't think he's going to get too much money because JJ Redick, let me just add this, guys. Quick fact about him. JJ Redick has not missed the playoffs any single NBA season that he's played in. That proves that he is a leader in the locker room. That proves that his three-point shooting is definitely valued out there. This year he did get a one-year $23 million contract with the 76ers, which is like a lot of money in itself. I would not give him no, 3-year $23 million a season. But yeah, like these little one contract season deals, I think it's definitely worth it for what he brings. Now, if I was to sign him long-term, that three-point shot's not going anywhere anytime soon. I would say JJ Redick, with his three-point shooting ability, he's like, 33, so he'll be doing it for at least another 4 seasons or so. If you really want to really spread the court, I would say $15 million a season. Is that kind of, are you guys think that's a little overvalued? Maybe closer to $13 million, just because like outside of his three-point shooting, he doesn't really do all too much out there. It's just that shot is so freaking valuable. You know what I'm saying, man? So 13 to $15 million. I mean, I could see him getting maybe like $11 million a season. The reason I'm kind of giving him that higher number is because there's so many bitch-ass contracts out there, and JJ Redick is a proven player. So I think if you got guys like freaking Joakim Noah getting paid, this man deserves to get paid himself. Next up, we got too much Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Yeah, I watched this dude for many years on the Detroit Pistons. Not many years, so he's not really that old. But, I mean, he's a guy that every now and then, I'm going to say very, it's like a freaking, I don't know, man, Red Moon or something like that, that he is going to give you like a 30-point game. His defense is always good, which is nice. It's like if he could consistently score about 17 points per game, I would say he'd be worth the money, but he's just not a very consistent player. He's not really a guy you can rely on in the big moment. Every now and then he does some clutch things out there, at least for the Pistons he did. I haven't really heard too much about him on the Lakers. But yeah, he had like, I forgot what his deal was. It says $18 million for just 1 year with the Lakers. So another player like JJ Redick that just got that big payday for 1 season. I would say based off his consistency, his age, I would pay JJ Redick more right now than I would KCP, just because of the offense consistency. I'm thinking about $9-10 million per season is kind of what I would personally give KCP myself, guys. But, man, some team is going to overvalue him just because of his age. Next up, we have shortchanged Marcus Smart. Okay, the issue with Marcus Smart is that he is also not really a great shooter. And when you play the shooting guard position in this day and age of the NBA, I don't want to say just a bad three-point shooter. He's just not all that great on offense. Like, he does have those games where, yeah, all of a sudden he'll freaking make 7 3-pointers and just go off. But more times than not, his shot is not going to be going in. His defense is where this dude's going to get paid at, right? And I just don't really know what that is, how that is, like, to an NBA team, how valuable that is. Because when you think of the type of player that you want Marcus Smart to be, you want him to be a really good 3 and D player. Sometimes you just get the D. Okay, well, I didn't mean to say it like that, but sometimes you just get the defense with Marcus Smart. I would say, oh man, because would I pay him more than KCP? Yes, I would. I would say I'll probably give him about $11 million per season. $11 million. And I really feel like I'm overvaluing JJ Redick now, but I don't know, man. Maybe I am. $11 million for Marcus Smart feels right. I've not really seen any NBA players out here yet that give me the absolute wow factor, because even Isaiah Thomas is kind of falling off a bit. So that's why I'm kind of going in that same like $10 to $50 million range, unless we get to a superstar. Melo, no longer a superstar, by the way. Next up, we have too much Jabari Parker. Yeah, this guy's going to get some sort of $20 million, $23 million contract from some team out there. I'm thinking like maybe the Brooklyn Nets, which ultimately would not be that bad of a fit because the Brooklyn Nets have no draft picks. So it's like if you can go out and get Jabari Parker on your team, that would be pretty cool for them, because it's like they are loading up on young talent without having to draft them, which is, in my opinion, pretty good management, and I think it's a risk willing to take. Of course, the risk they do with Jabari Parker is his injury history at such a young age. It's like he's had like 2 major knee injuries or something like that by now. So, I mean, you could find yourself in a situation where you give this man $23 million, and then all of a sudden he's just not playing for an entire season or two, and then that's just money not being spent or money not being used on your team. So he is going to get a big contract. I don't think he's ready for that max contract offer yet. I would say he needs to prove himself, but at the same time, there's something to be said about a young stretch 4 out there that potentially could be an all-star in the NBA. I wouldn't give him like the $20 million plus contract. I think I would be willing to risk maybe a 3-year, $15 to $16 million range on him, just to see what he can do in those seasons. If it doesn't work out, it's like, Yeah, that's a lot of money wasted, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's not like a Luol Deng type of contract. Although Luol Deng, damn, that was like a 4 or 5 season contract he got. That dude was still getting paid to sit on the Lakers bench. So yeah, I would say if you're a young team that can kind of take that punch, if you want to take a stab at him right there, sure, why not? I don't think I would do it if I was a championship contending team, because you could use that money on more veteran-esque players. But a team like the Brooklyn Nets, Chicago Bulls, you're not going to be like all that great for the next few seasons anyway. So if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And anyway, even if it doesn't work out, it's like, okay, well, you guys are losing games and getting draft picks. So yeah, I would give him about that. Probably for a more of a worse team though. Next up, we have too much DeMarcus Cousins. This is definitely iffy waters right here to tread through. DeMarcus Cousins, when 100% healthy, he deserves a max contract. Yes, he does, man. He is that type of player out there. But with that being said, he's coming off a major injury. And that's going to be the dangerous part about it. It's like, we don't know what type of player we'll get back from DeMarcus Cousins. Everybody's bodies react differently to injuries. You look at Zach LaVine, that guy's coming back on the Bulls now. He looks like he's completely fine. That dude's freaking jumping out of the damn building and stuff like that. But DeMarcus Cousins, we just don't really know. It's like, is he going to have issues with conditioning? I still like the idea maybe of I think this is how I would deal with DeMarcus Cousins, guys. I would give him as much as you can give him in one season. And then I would think I would either give him like I don't know, man, like a $25 million one contract season type of thing, or like $30 million, whatever it is. And then I think I would give him, would I give him a player option? So it's like if he wants to opt, yeah. Then I would give him a player option so we could opt in that second season, or he could opt out and go for the max contract money. Or would I give him a team option? I don't really know, man. It's a very tough situation with DeMarcus. We just don't know how he's going to be when he comes back. I think he'll be fine, but we really don't know. Next up, we have Shortchanged Michael Beasley. Michael Beasley is 29 years of age. It says he's only making $2 million this season. And I think when they look at Michael Beasley, it's not so much that he's not a skillful basketball player. This guy can come out and I bet you he could score about 20 points per game in an NBA season if he was really focused. Keyword being focused. Sometimes with Michael Beasley, you get the guy that's going out there and he's just like, yeah, I'm going to ball out tonight. I'm going to get some baskets. And then other nights you get the Michael Beasley that's just kind of like, you don't really care. You're not really passionate. And I think when it comes to max contract players, you need passion out there. Definitely does not warrant that. Michael Beasley, I would give him a 3-year, $24 million contract, which is about $8 million per season. I feel like he could be a starter on some bad teams. He could be a really good 6th, 7th man on a really good team. But yeah, $8 million for Michael Beasley. I mean, he's still getting some nice money out there. And, if he proves to be something better in the upcoming NBA seasons, maybe give us some more. But I kind of feel like that's the right range for him. Next up, we got too much Avery Bradley. So Avery Bradley, ever since leaving the Boston Celtics, kind of fell off an NBA player. He had some pretty decent moments on the Detroit Pistons, went to the Clippers, was shut down for the NBA season. I would probably say for him, a guy that can knock down three-pointers when he's healthy. He is one of the best cutting guys in the NBA getting to the basket. Defense is always there. I would probably give him that same like Marcus Smart type of contract, like maybe $10, $11 million per season. Maybe $13 million, depends if he's healthy or not, and really what void he can fill on an NBA team. It's like if you are just looking for some guy out there, you can just get some guy. But I mean, there's teams that could really use the service of Avery Bradley. I really like the idea of him going to the San Antonio Spurs if Kawhi Leonard stays. I feel like him and Greg Popovich's system, the hard cutting, him with Marcus Aldridge and Kawhi, could be pretty deadly out there. So yeah, I would probably give him about $11, $12 million per season, I'll say. Next up, we got too much Derrick Favors. It says he has career averages of 12 points and 7 rebounds per game. Currently getting paid $11 million per season. Part with Derrick Favors, the problem with him, I should say, is that he's not really a center. I definitely say he's more of a power forward, but the type of power forward he is that more traditional guy, the man that scores around the basket. Mid-range game is decent. He'll grab you a few rebounds, but it's like, I don't know. I did a rebuild earlier, and I had Derrick Favors on my team, and I made him a 6-man, and he really played nicely off the bench for me, maybe getting about 25 minutes per game. But just like, I don't like the idea of him playing the center position. He is 6'10", so he definitely could do it. Just needs to work on his defense, but he can't really space the floor to be optimal in today's NBA type of offense. So, dare I say $9 million a season? $9 million for just because you can't really pay a player who fits in a different era of basketball, which is why Jahlil Okafor doesn't really do very well in the NBA. Next up, we got Shortchanged Nerlens Noel. This one I totally disagree with, man. I'm going to give this dude a freaking $5 million contract for 1 or 2 seasons. I don't know why, man, because Nerlens Noel, I'm embarrassed for the type of NBA player you have become. You were on the Philadelphia 76ers. I felt bad because like Joel Embiid was getting minutes over you, Jahlil Okafor was getting minutes over you, and you were kind of the man that was just kind of left in the dust until that was Jahlil Okafor, right? But Nerds Noel, you went to the Dallas Mavericks. You had a chance at a restart. You had a chance to be the next Tyson Chandler of the Dallas Mavericks. And you simply did not give it your all. Rick Carlisle actually went out and said you were not a passionate person and you just did not care. So if you don't care, how is it a shortchange? Prove to me that you are worth the NBA contract you want. And that's going to take a season or two. That's going to take a little while. You're not old. So it's like you still have time to prove yourself. But hell no, man. There's no way he's going to get shortchanged. He's going to get exactly what he deserves at this point of his NBA career. Next up, we got too much Aaron Gordon. This one I totally disagree with, man. A 23-year-old, maybe 24 by the time the NBA season is over with. A guy that can shoot three-pointers, athletic, a good playmaker for a big man. The perfect type of four you want in today's NBA. This quick, athletic NBA, the three-point shooting NBA. Aaron Gordon, I would give him a max contract right now, man. I would give him a max contract right now. There's no way he gets paid too much. I think he is just... I don't know, I feel like he's the perfect player for this era of the NBA. So in the right system, it's like, yeah, the Magic are trash, but you put him on like a team like, I don't know, there's a lot of good options out there. Then all of a sudden, I really do think he can be an all-star caliber player. Max contract for me, for sure. Next up, we got too much Tyreke Evans. It says this year, man, he is averaging 19 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. It depends what you want Tyreke Evans to play to be for your team. On the Memphis Grizzlies, yeah, he's putting up 19, 5, and 5, but his team's not winning games. So I feel like on a really good team, Tyreke Evans is definitely like a 6-man player. I mean, he could start on some teams out there, but if you really want to contend, Tyreke Evans is the perfect player to have off your bench. Maybe give you like 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists per game. And for that, I'll give about $9 million a season, guys, just because like he would have to prove to me that he could actually help in like the win share department when it comes to the stats and everything like that. So he definitely ain't going to deserve a like $20 million contract, which I do feel like some team is going to give him. And it's going to be the same case like Evan Turner. Evan Turner was really nice on the Boston Celtics, got paid his money. He was like, okay, I did my job, went to the Portland Trail Blazers, became trash. So I just don't want to see that happen again. Next up, we have Jusuf Nurkic, who is the current center of the Portland Trail Blazers. He's roughly a 14 and 10 guy out there. 14 points, 10 rebounds out there, can probably get you about 1-2 blocks per game. He is more of a traditional center. He can't really shoot the three-pointer at all, which is like what you want from your big guys. But I mean, I don't know. For being 23 years of age, he was on the Denver Nuggets, and they traded him away because they really want to invest in Jokic. I don't think he'll ever be as good as Jokic is for the Denver Nuggets, but I feel like on the Portland Trail Blazers, they did find themselves a nice fourth piece. The Portland Trail Blazers still need that third piece out there, and some people thought Nurkic would be that. But I would probably say for Nurkic, at the age of 23, for the potential he can be, I would give him a 4-year, $60 million contract, which is $15 million per season. Maybe a 3+1 or so with like that fourth season as a team option. But yeah, guys, that is the end of today's video. Kind of a longer one here, but we had a lot to go through. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. Give me your thought on all these contracts in the comment section below, and thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, my friends.